Yo, welcome back to the Shout Out with Danny and Dan. Today's guest, we have Sienna Bordello from the amazing band Black Bordello. Sienna, thank you so much for joining the podcast today.
Thank you.
Thank you. We've got loads to talk about. Your new single, Daddy, came out a couple months ago. Your album that came out a couple years ago. You had a busy tour last year. But first, we're going to hit you with some quick fire questions.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've got 6 questions for you. First thing that comes into your mind, let's go. What was the last song you listened to?
When I Live My Dream by David Bowie.
Lovely. What is your dream venue to play in?
Oh, wow.
You can't say the 100 Club.
Yeah, you done that.
No, I'd actually quite like to play a Colosseum or something, like
Ooh,
Rome.
That would be cool.
That's probably the best answer to that question.
You get idiots like me saying Watford Football Club, like. Right. If you could create a festival, what 3 artists or bands would headline?
do they have to be alive?
Dead or alive? It could be a mixture of a random band. You could have whatever.
Okay, probably System of a Down, David Bowie, obviously, and Billie Holiday.
Oh, nice.
Good line.
That's a strong lineup.
It's a bit weird, isn't it?
A bit weird, really weird.
Our first shout out for System of a Down.
Maybe
I'm glad
Mr.
to have some love
Bungle
for
as
them.
well. Mr. Bungle. If I could have
Okay.
a fourth headline.
You can have a Thursday opener.
Yeah.
There we go. Who would be your dream band or artist to support on tour?
Mm. Oh God. God, it's really hard.
Dead or alive again?
Maybe maybe Tom Waits.
Cool.
I feel like he'd be really fun to go on tour with, you know?
Yeah, we had that. Someone, I can't remember who we asked, but I think it was Curly from the Vigilantes. He was like, it's not about the music. It's like, who am I going to have a good time with?
Yeah,
Who am I going to get on with?
yeah.
Like,
Totally.
Yeah.
yeah, cool. All right. What is one band or artist that no one has heard of before that you listen to? So a smaller artist or bands that you're into.
Does it have to be people I know? It could be anyone.
Could be anyone.
Yeah.
I like a lot of sort of Turkish psychedelic music. So
I didn't know that was a genre to be into. That's awesome.
there's Erkin Koray, who's pretty cool. He's quite a mainstream Turkish psychedelic artist, but still most people I talk to have
Yes, good.
A mainstream Turkish psychedelic artist as opposed to a not mainstream Turkish psychedelic.
And there's a band called Fullborn Television. They're pretty cool as well.
That sounds awesome.
Nice.
They're not Turkish psychedelic. They're like experimental jazz, but they're pretty cool as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good
Awesome.
suggestions.
Well,
my final
a whole
question-
new genre to get into down there.
2 new genres, really.
2 new genres. Wow. Thank you so much. Great quick fire questions. I want to talk about.
You missed the important one, Dan.
Oh my gosh. How dare
This
I?
is bad of Dan, really.
Wow, sorry,
Audi or
I hurt
Lidl?
myself.
Which Dan is my favourite Dan? Is that what's the next
That
one?
would be a great one.
Depending on how you answer this question. Audi or Lidl?
Lidl.
Yes.
You found your favourite, Dan.
Found your
There's
favourite
a
Dan.
Lidl on the end of my road.
Yeah. It feels like Lidls are popping up absolutely everywhere, and that seems to be the reason why Lidl's dominating the quickfire questions so much.
Not
To be fair, if I had a Lidl as close to me as the Audi, then I might. If I had an Audi as close to me as the Lidl, I might go to the Audi just because it's like a bit new. You know, it's like.
Yeah.
But Lidl does the Greeks, the Greek and the Italian section.
Does it now?
Like
There's a
that.
whole new reason to like Lidl. I didn't
And
even
they've got
know.
really good olive oil.
Wow.
Was it? Really
Yeah.
good olive oil.
Okay.
I'm going to bring that up every single time now. Awesome. Thank you so much. So yeah, like I was saying, the new single. I wanted to ask because this is your first single that you've released your first release other than the live one in like a year and a half. What was it kind of like taking a break from releasing and recording, and then you must have been really excited to get back to it?
Well, we weren't taking a break from recording because all of that year we were recording.
Oh,
so
right.
we were recording like loads of new music.
Wow. Okay.
And touring loads. So
yeah, you must have been busy.
We were really busy. It didn't really feel like we took a break at all, really. It's just that we released like all of our music, and it was White Bardo was released in like autumn 2024. So then like in 2025 we like went on so many different tours. Like we played in New York, we played all over the place. And it just didn't really feel, and then we recorded a whole new, we wrote and recorded another 5 songs. And then this year we wrote and recorded another 6 songs. So now we've got 11 songs to release, of which we've only released 1, which is Daddy. So it hasn't really felt like a break at all, if I'm honest. It's been like playing all over the place. I don't think there was a month last year where I think April was the only month last year that we didn't do a gig. But the rest of the time we were gigging every month in different places around the UK, and so I'm playing festivals and stuff like that. So it was pretty busy, but now I'm really keen to get this music out.
Totally.
So I'm really excited for that.
Well, we're also really, really excited. I mean, following from your last album and from 24, your sound is something I wanted to talk about, because you have such a strong vision as to what your sound is, what your like creative like thing is. And from there, you can go to so many different places that I can't really describe what it is. So maybe could you, just for the people listening who haven't heard your music, try and describe it? This is a really tricky one. Guys, you have to listen to the album.
In one word as well.
It's basically the music for someone with it's music for people with personality disorders, I would say.
What does that say about me? No, how does it come about? Is there someone like maybe yourself with a really strong vision as to what you want, and then the other band members are there to facilitate and make it happen? Or is everyone just kind of on that wavelength? How does it come about?
Much write all the songs, with the exception of some songs sometimes we'll write like more collaboratively, but it starts out with a sort of arranged structure and a set of chords. And sometimes Dan will like he sometimes helps with structuring chords as well. Sometimes I'll write a song and it will have a gap in it, and I won't know what to do with the gap, and then we'll all jam it and be like, okay, this is a bridge here. But more or less, like I kind of know what a song's going to be. I have it really mapped out in my head before it's even like gone to the rehearsal room. I know what production decisions are going to be made. I know what guitar sounds are going to happen. I know what synth sounds are going to happen. I know how it's going to be mixed. I know what microphone it's going to be recorded on. I know everything.
I'm so glad you said that, because I was saying to Dan before you came in, I bet you have thought out every single detail down to like the guitar tone and like the microphones before the song is recorded, because you can tell, because it's not just like you listen to one song like, oh, it's really well thought out. I mean, I've mainly just listened to the album White Bardo, and it's like you have such a clear artistic vision for it that the details must be so meticulously looked over, right?
Yeah, they are. I mean, there are some like happy accidents, as our producer calls it. I like those things to happen, but like I am a bit of a control freak, and like I do think that the original idea is kind of what the most pure form of a song is, and if you stray too much from that, then you lose the essence of the song. And I've had that happen to me before with other songs, where I'm like, oh, you know what? Who cares? Let's just jam it and jam it and jam it. But this is why I try to record things as soon as possible after I've written them, because otherwise they morph into something else.
Yeah.
And I found that if you just a freshly written song in the studio, like you're writing it as you're on your way in there, kind of thing, you know. But I'm sometimes writing the lyrics on the day of recording the songs. Like I'm still crossing them out and changing up until the moment of recording. But lyrics is one thing, but for me, it's like the vibe and the production of a song. Like, we've just written and recorded a song that I'm really excited about called Marionette. Actually, probably more excited about this song than I've ever been about any song I've written. But the minute that I wrote this song, I was like, okay, this is going to be like a really sexy song. Like, it's going to be something you can imagine in Twin Peaks, like in like, I don't know, Trent Reznor does. Well, that's just Lost Highway, but you know, like something like a really dark scene. Someone's driving down a road at night, but there's like this very sexy energy, and I could see like tights and legs and like lipstick and like, you know, a gun and like just you know, a very movie type thing, like what's going to happen next, the kind of murdering mystery. But also it's got this main riff, which is based on like a melodic minor scale, because I've come from like a mixture of Mediterranean and Middle Eastern background, so I use a lot of those Eastern scales in my music. And so it's got that kind of riff, which is very Eastern sounding, and it also kind of feels really spooky. So basically that song was written and finalized like the day before we went in to record it, and it sounded so good. And as soon as I kind of explained that to the producer, which this producer we're working with at the moment, he's amazing, because instead of like mixing references, he asks for film references. So he's like, he will put, instead of me being like, okay, I want the guitar sound to be exactly like this guitar sound on this record, or I want us to use like, you know, slapback or a short plate reverb, or you know, whatever, a distortion on the bass or whatever, I'll just put like some clips from a film on the monitor, and then he's like, okay, say no more, and he kind of gets
totally. I can hear that. It's very theatrical.
It's really theatrical, I feel like.
And like the visual elements as well, when you were describing the visual elements of your thought of the process of writing the song, it invokes these thoughts and like images very clearly, and it shows really well on your Instagram as well, actually. Like the vision's there throughout everything. I
mean, everything's a story. And like I did an interview about Daddy yesterday, actually, which was funny, because our Stu, who we work with, who works with us a lot on our videos, we were doing like a behind the scenes about the making of the video Daddy. And obviously the song Daddy is really sad. It's about me losing my father quite tragically. But I remember like the day before I wrote that song, I had a therapy session, and my therapist was like, what's like one of the things that you miss, like not having a dad? What's one of those things that you know, you think that you'll miss out on in your life, that you wished your dad had been there for? And I was like, I don't know, like, you know, getting married, or like being walked down the aisle. And then my therapist was like, oh, do you want to get married? And I was like, no. And then she was like, okay, so you're not really missing out because you wouldn't have done it anyway. And I was like, well, yeah, but like, isn't it? It's one of those things. It's one of those textbook things, like being walked down the aisle by your dad. And so it was like this kind of weird, absurd thing where kind of I faced a lot of these emotions, and I was like, do you know what? After a few years of like not having my dad around, I'm actually ready to write a song about it. And that was kind of a closure about that grief. But but also making it into a weird theatre. So we put on our Instagram that I was getting married, and a lot of people thought it was for real. And like all of my friends were messaging
So good.
Like, what the fuck? We didn't even know you were with anyone. Like, who's the groom?
They were worried they were missing the invites. That was why.
Yeah. And then they turn up, and Cameron, who's an actor, who's pretended to be my partner in lots of different, in 2 videos now. One of which I was a mermaid who like ate him alive, and this time he was my groom who like had a weird sort of he kind of started going demonic and stuff. So we always put Cameron through these poor, like, I don't know, difficult situations, bless him.
Bless him.
There's never like a nice normal scene with
It wouldn't be Black Bordello.
Yeah, true.
Can I ask about, there was 2 words you've got in your Spotify bio, and I don't know how I'm going to like phrase the question, but it was pleasurable discordia. But there were so many things, because that in itself is like an oxymoron, right? But there's so many things in your music and even in the styles that are like oxymorons in terms of music. So is that, again, Dan mentioned your vision, the whole kind of visuals and the branding, is that also intentional as well? Because obviously everything you don't mention, like the mics are intentional and the sound. So is that all part of it? Have I read too much into that?
Everything's intentional. Like that's intentional because a lot of the time, the whole thing is like, I started a band because, well, therapy was really expensive, and I was like, you know what, like this is easier. Turns out being in a band is also really expensive. So whatever I do,
very
expensive. But yeah, it's like basically music is a way of processing like my deepest kind of most shameful and like unutterable emotions, ones that basically you don't really want to bring up at the dinner table because you will make everyone uncomfortable, but music has a place for that. So that's what's quite fun about it, because you actually have to bring up like a lot of really painful shit, but then you actually have fun doing it. So everything's like this weird tension between like joy and pain, and it's like constant pleasure and pain, and it's the whole process of it is that, because it will be even, we just come back from Ireland, we were recording there, and it was honestly one of the most incredible recording experiences of my life. And we recorded residentially, and we had these long days where we, in any other situation, working non-stop for like 14 hours would be like too much. Like if I did that in my day job, like I would go, I don't know, I'd probably just pass out. But because it's like something I love so much, you kind of forgo all of your humanly needs to get it done. And also being on tour is a bit like that. Like you never really sleep properly, you never eat properly. Your diet consists of meal deals like most of the time.
That sounds a dream to me.
Yeah, what a little one or an Audi one?
An Audi one for me. I'm not entering a Lidl.
Oh my god! Wow, you feel probably about that. Yeah, so I think everything's basically uncomfortable in some way.
I like that.
That's a thumbnail.
Everything's uncomfortable, yeah.
Yeah, but the alternative is like I also find comfort deeply uncomfortable. So yeah, make of that what you will.
It comes through. I mean, in the single "Daddy," you have the little piano gentle riffs, and then all of a sudden the guitars come in, and it's very up and down, and that happens a lot in your music.
It's a tritone. The piano is a tritone.
Oh yeah.
It's like the devil's interval.
Yeah, the devil's interval. That one. Yeah, it's awesome, man. It's awesome. I'm going to pry a little bit. You said you've got a lot of songs locked and loaded. Yeah. Can we ask a little sneak preview? Are we going to get some? When are we going to get some new music? Because we know it's coming.
We like exclusives.
Really soon. Like
really soon.
Really soon. Like maybe in May. is the
Ooh,
next.
Maybe in May.
Maybe in May.
Maybe yes in May.
Maybe definitely yes, already booked in, guaranteed for May.
Yeah, pretty much.
We absolutely can't wait. Have you gigged these new songs that you've got recorded?
So we've gigged. It's funny because some of the newest ones, which we've written and recorded this year, we've been slowly like gigging them just to see what happens. And like one of them we gigged like a few days after I wrote it, just because I wanted to see whether this chorus, because it was a bit more dancey than what we normally do.
Right, okay.
And I just wanted to see the audience's reaction when I just pulled out like a sort of dance beat in the middle of our weird like waltzy song. And it actually landed quite a lot because it's this sort of like waltz song, which sounds a bit like, I don't know, something out of a Disney film, or like a twisted Disney film. And then at the end, like it just turns into almost like techno. And wow. I just wanted to see how that would land with the audience. But they did start really dancing, and I was like, "Oh, wow! They got the memo. We didn't have to."
I can't wait to hear that one.
So yeah, that was fun. So yeah, I mean, there's no rules here. Like again, like we're really independent. We're independent. Like we're not with a label. I mean, obviously, it'd be nice to be with a label, but also I think we're really free with what music we make, and we've not really been in any kind of box ever, boxed into any particular scene, or so I think there's quite a lot of opportunity for us to just do whatever we want. And I used to be really keen to get kind of to be on board with with a label or a group of people, or be kind of. And now I'm starting to feel like, well, as long as people turn up to our gigs, which they do, hopefully they keep coming. But like the last gig, I didn't look at the ticket sales, and I was really stressing about it at the 100 Club. And then I was just like, no one's gonna come. And then I peeked out of the green room, and the room was full, and I was like, thank God.
Oh, wow.
Because like, yeah, you never know, but. You know, as long as we get to play and we get to record and people come and they enjoy it, then I'm happy, you know. Because what I wouldn't like is to be boxed into some sort of category where, okay, you must only write goth songs forever, or you must only write art, like alternative punk or art rock, or whatever, forever. Because that's just not how it works. Like.
Well, this is something that I mean, again, I was talking to Dan about this. Because we have a lot of musicians and bands who listen to this podcast, and this is where I think it could be a really important moment where bands could learn from what you do, because you have this really strong artistic vision for what you are, but a lot of bands would think that kind of traps you into this thing. But when you have a really clear vision for what it is you want to do, you can go anywhere with it.
Yeah, and
that's what you do so well. And so many bands just don't want to get boxed in, but they end up not being anything because they're just doing everything.
Yeah. That's why, like, when people ask me what genre are you, I say I'm post-genre, because I don't think genre really is a thing anymore. I honestly think we're moving into post-genre times. And if you look at everything else, whether it be film, like fashion, you know, like you used to get people who listen to certain music who dressed a certain way, and that was kind of, you had your punks, you had your mods, you had your goths, you had your, you know, grunge people, whatever. And that people there's not so much boxing in general in society anymore, because I think the internet has changed that. And as much as like the internet is shit for all of our mental health, it also, we can't deny that it exists and what impact it's had on society. I think everyone has access to any era of culture at all times. And that's mental. But also, like, I like to kind of run with the chaos of that, because I'm really into Turkish psychedelia. I'm really also into heavy metal. I also like UK garage. I also like, you know, I used to love dub music and go to dub nights all the time.
Yeah.
And like, you know, and then I also trained as an opera singer. Do you know what I mean? Like there's all this shit going on, and I can go and listen to, you know, Tropicalia from Brazil, and then I can go on. Well, I don't use Spotify, but Tidal or whatever platform, and then like I can get my record player out and I can listen to like Vivaldi on my record player. Like we live in such a bizarre time now where analog and digital, like I'm so surprised at how many people buy records, and we get 14-year-olds at festivals buying records, and I'm like, you're 14, like you have a record player, and they're like, yeah, we love records, we love playing vinyl, like and I'm like, wow, okay. Cool.
Yeah. What a great point to end it on. Just a couple more questions for you before we let you go, Dan.
Yes. I do want to say one more thing before I ask the final question. When you watch this episode after, please go and watch your live performance at the 100 Club, because I watched it today. While I was working, I had it on, I'd pause it at different points, but it was unbelievable. I loved it. So if you are watching this, please go over to it's on your YouTube, right? It wasn't uploaded by anyone else, was it?
It was actually uploaded by Lou Smith.
Okay. So type in 100 Club, it will come up under Black Bordello, and yeah, that's an incredible live performance, and there was so much I took from it and I really enjoyed it. But anyway, I've got one final question for you from me. We have the shout out playlist where everyone that's been on puts a song of theirs into this playlist, so all the artists can listen to each other's music and do whatever, take inspiration, listen and put in their playlist. What song of yours would you like to add to our playlist?
Oh my god, okay. Okay, well, the thing is, Daddy's like a 6-minute weird rock opera, so it doesn't go in a playlist. I don't know.
It can 100%
go in the playlist. Put whatever you want in the playlist.
Well, I think because it's the most recent song, I would say Daddy. But if you're looking for something more playlistable, then maybe Acid Mary, because it's more of a dancey kind of.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Both are going in.
I know you're that. Both are going in. One more question from me, if you could you shout out a artist or band that you think is awesome and should come on our show?
Oh my god. Okay, let me think about this.
Unlike the quickfire questions, they have to be alive. They can't be dead.
Yeah, ideally.
I'd love Bowie, but he won't come.
We could get ChatGPT to create them.
Trying to think. I think. Oh God, I'm trying to think of who. Who do we play with? Really, we played with a band called Cherry Eye that were really good at
Cherry
our
Eye
gig. Yeah, they're really good.
Cherry Eye.
They blew us away, actually.
Oh yeah, shout out Cherry Eye. We'll definitely.
Cherry Eye, as in Cherry Eye, the letter I. Not
the letter I. Okay.
Not I.
I've got them. I've got them. Cherry Eye.
Awesome. Cool. Shout out to them. And look, Sienna, thank you so much for coming on. Your music is incredible. We cannot wait to hear where else you get up to. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me.
No, thank you. And thank you for watching this episode of The Shout Out with Dan, our amazing guest, Sienna from Black Bordello. They're doing so much else this year, so stay tuned. Make sure you follow them, follow us, hit the bell, subscribe. It's 2 episodes a week now, so you better keep up with them. There's a lot of episodes to watch. Take it easy. Bye.
Au revoir.